Hello and good evening for this Friday, April 26, 2024. It's time for our next edition of Star Trek Radio Theater. And tonight we are doing Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Civil Defense. Johnny, hit the clip.
Bashoran workers, your attention, please.
In trouble in a time of distress. It's season 3 of Deep Space Nine. You know this is the best. Crew trapped in a lockdown, no time to confess. Can they survive the civil defense mess? Trapped with the Cardassians, a test of their might. The clock's ticking fast. Gonna fight for their right. Lasers and force fields, they're in for a fight. In the heart of the station, they'll defend through the night. O'Brien takes charge, leading the way. With Sisko and Kira, they won't give it away. Quark's got a plan to come out okay. But Gul Dukat's lurking, will he save the day?
Good job. And with that out of the way, we are going to jump into our live read of Star Trek Deep Space Nine's third season episode, Civil Defense. We'll have the script up on screen so you can kind of follow along. We got a lot of the old faithful here. We got some newcomers as well, first timers, but old friends. And we also have a dog. So watch out, guys.
My dog.
Yeah, figures. All right, let's bring up the screen here. And we'll get into this script. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. All right. And starting with the intro music. Mott, you're up.
We focus on an ore processing unit inside Deep Space Nine. The room is a 2-level refinery. Brian and Jake are deleting Cardassian files from the computer as part of an effort to convert equipment from ore processing to deuterium refinery. Why O'Brien would choose a civilian teenager to help him instead of one of his trained engineers, we will never know.
How's it going, Jake?
Fine. I've deleted half the Cardassian files from the computer. I can't believe how many subroutines it took just to run this one processor.
Well, it used to be a pretty large operation. The Cardassians were in charge. I understand they processed 22,000 tons a day.
That's a lot of ore.
It must have been hell in here. I heard stories that the temperature reached 55 degrees Celsius.
How could the Bajoran workers survive that?
A lot of them didn't.
O'Brien moves away from the reactor and picks up a tricorder.
When you've deleted those files, I'll show you how to download the new operating system.
You really think we can convert this place into a deuterium refinery?
Absolutely. It'd take us 3, maybe 4 weeks at most.
Sisko comes back to check on him.
Hope you're planning on eating during the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Commander, I guess I lost track of the time.
We're almost finished, Dad. Chief, I'm having a problem deleting one of these files.
Have you tried reformatting the data cluster?
O'Brien puts down his tools and heads over to Jake's console to have a look.
Yeah, but the file is still here.
Here, let me see. Well, that's odd.
What's that, Chief?
Well, the file has no name. No indication of what it is. I better set it aside for now. I can transfer it to the central database in Ops, analyze it in the morning.
Sorry, Gavin distracted me with a message.
A warning flashes on the console screen.
Wait a minute.
Unauthorized computer entry detected in all processing unit 5. Enter access code.
O'Brien puts in an access code.
That's an incorrect code. You have 5 seconds to enter the correct access code.
Or what?
I don't know. I better stop it.
An alarm sounds and the doors are sealed.
Warning.
We focus on ops. Jadzia Dax and Bashir are startled by an alert.
Bajoran work. Oh, that's fine.
Worker revolt in progress in all processing unit 5. Security countermeasures initiated.
What the hell?
We focus on the ore processing unit. Commander Sisko and O'Brien are attempting to get the door open. A recording of Gul Dukat appears on the display.
Bajoran workers, your attention, please. Your attempt to seize control of this facility is going to fail. Your attempt to seize control of this facility is going to fail. You are valuable workers, and we wish you no harm. However, if you do not return control of this unit to your Cardassian supervisors, we will be forced to take action. You have 8 minutes to make your decision.
O'Brien has his toolkit out and is attempting to open the door.
The computer engaged a magnetic seal. I can't override it.
Ops to Sisko.
Go ahead.
Commander, what is going on down there? We just got a recorded message from Gul Dukat regarding some worker revolt in the ore processing facility.
We saw the same message. Seems we've tripped some kind of automated security program. The Cardassians left. We're locked in.
We'll beam you out of there.
We focus on ops. Dax is trying to regain control of the main computer.
Enter your access code.
What?
If this security program thinks there's some kind of worker revolt, then it must think this station is under Cardassian rule, so it's probably waiting for us to enter an emergency code.
One that the Cardassians never bothered to give us when they left.
Odo to ops.
Here.
We focus on the
My Cardassian
security
codes are still valid. I'm attempting to override the security program, but it's taking some time to get through. I'm not sure my security level is high enough.
Well, keep at it. We'll try to do the same thing from up here.
Acknowledged.
Quark.
Odo, do you mind telling me what this is all about? That message from Dukat is making my customers nervous. When they're nervous, they're not.
Not now, Quark. I'm busy.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you have a level 9 Cardassian security clearance.
Let's see. I think I have everything from levels 1 through 7.
Odo looks surprised.
I only have levels 1 through 6.
Well, if you'd like a level 7, I'm sure we can make some kind of arrangement.
Leave me alone, Quark.
Oh no, there's something very wrong going on, and this is the safest place on the whole... Where is it? Station. I think I'll stay right here.
Quark sits down in one of Odo's chairs. We focus on the ore processing unit. Sisko has climbed up the ladder and is trying to open the maintenance hatch on one of the ore chutes. O'Brien is at the computer console.
Any look?
Nothing. It's probably magnetically sealed like the door. We'd need a phaser to blast it open.
Well, there's no way I can disable the program from here.
The screen flicks on with another message from Dukat.
Bajoran workers, your time is running out, but it's not too late. You can still surrender and save your lives.
Computer? This is the leader of the Bajoran workers. We surrender.
I'm glad to see you've come to your senses. Stay where you are. When Cardassian security arrives, they will place you into custody, but you will not be harmed. You have my word.
O'Brien is unconvinced.
Or whatever that's worth.
Now what?
Well, it sounds like the program is going to wait for Cardassian security to enter the all-clear protocol. That'll give us a few minutes. Anyway.
Sisko walks over to the chute and thumps on it.
What's in here?
Nothing at the moment. Processed uridium used to flow down that pipe to a secondary refinery facility on level 33 and be purified.
Tiggs pulls a panel off the bottom of the chute.
It's not locked.
Since the pipe was filled with molten... What is it called?
Iridium.
Since the pipe was filled with molten iridium, there wasn't any need for security measures.
It's too narrow for anyone to escape through.
I can get in there.
Chief, if he can crawl up to that pipe into the machine, can he get out of the chute and open the hatch from the inside?
The monitor lights up again.
Bajoran workers, you have not surrendered to Cardassian security. If you do not do so in the next 3 minutes, I will be forced to release neurocene gas into the ore processing facility.
I can do it.
Jake gets into the bottom of the chute and begins to climb up it. The Dukat recording begins up again and continues to drone on.
Bajoran workers, you have 2 minutes left to give yourselves up to your Cardassian overseers and save your lives.
Sisko presses his comm badge.
Can you hear me, Jake?
Loud and clear, but I can't see a thing.
There should be a large circular opening to your right.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
Even if you were to escape the station.
Ow!
Jake, oh, are you all right?
Yeah, I just banged my head on something.
Where would you go? Back to Bajor? I can tell you that Terok Nor is a paradise compared to what would await you there.
Wait a second. There's a junction here. It feels like it goes off in 2 different directions. Which way do I go?
The Gulls in charge of the occupation are not nearly as compassionate and forgiving as I am.
Follow this sound, Jake.
Sisko taps the pipe with a metal bar.
I think it's Stirling.
Do it again, Dad. Got it. I'm in the chute.
There should be a small access port into one of the walls.
I found it.
Open the hatch and feel around inside for a handle. It should be shaped like a stirrup.
The iridium you process today will lead not only to the greater glory for Cardassia, but to a better life on Bajor as well.
You know, I never knew how much this man's voice annoyed me.
I can reach it, but I can't get a hold of it.
You have to pull the handle down, Jake. It's the release for the hatch.
Ask yourself, why are you doing this? What do you really hope to accomplish? Do you really think that you can harm Cardassia by your actions? If so, then perhaps you have been deluded by a few malcontents.
I'm trying. I can't.
Don't tense up. Relax. Let's just take a deep breath and try again.
I'm sorry, but your time has run out. I was hoping you would be reasonable. Rest assured that your deaths will serve as an example to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Gas starts to pour into the room from a vent.
I got it.
About fucking time.
Jake opens the door on the upper level, and the two men rush up the ladder and through the open door to the chute. We focus on ops.
Dax.
Dax is working in the pit.
Maybe if we bypass the primary command pathway and cross-connect the backup with the ODN.
Warning! Workers have escaped from one ore processing unit 5, initiating station-wide counter-insurgency program.
Red Larp against the sound and the door slams shut.
Now what?
Attention, Bajoran workers. I will not allow this rebellion to succeed. If you do not surrender immediately, I will be forced to kill every Bajoran on this station.
Kira's worried. Dax gets back to work. We focus on the ore loading bay. Jake leads the way up a chute to the room.
Wait a second. I found something.
What is it?
I don't know. Some kind of room. It sure is dirty. Doesn't smell too good either.
Looks like some kind of loading bay.
You're right. This is where all the uridium ore was separated from the rock. Then it would be dumped down the chute to the processing facility.
Sisko tries the door.
Locked. Chief, is there another way out of here?
Just back down that chute. You know where that leads to.
Sisko to ops. Sisko to security. Try yours.
O'Brien to ops.
Jake Sisko to anyone who can hear me.
Something must be interfering with the signal.
What do we do now?
We focus on ops.
It's no good. We're completely cut off from the rest of the station.
There must be some kind of general dampening field in place. It must be disrupting communications.
All right, it's time for a less subtle approach.
He adjusts her phaser and aims at the door. Control to Bashir is working.
Doctor?
Bashir moves on out of the way and Kira fires her phaser. The manual lever is freed and Bashir flips it. The door opens, but there's a force field keeping them hostage.
The Cardassians don't miss a trick, do they?
The ironic thing is that the field is probably there to protect ops from the hordes of rebelling Bajorans.
Well, we've got to find a way of disabling the security program or a lot of people are going to be killed.
If we can regain control of the main computer, we may be able to wipe the security program from its memory. Now, if I can reroute the APT relay through the secondary buffer, I might get an independent terminal working.
You know, I've been here nearly 3 years, and I was just finally starting to think of this place as home.
Your home was built by Cardassians, Doctor. Don't ever forget that.
No, there's not much chance of that, is there?
We focus on the security office. Quark is still in there with Odo, who is scanning the door with a tricorder.
What do you mean we're trapped?
I mean, we're trapped.
Odo raises his hand to the door and activates the force field.
I wouldn't be surprised if the entire station is locked down.
Well, you're a shapeshifter. Excuse me, a changeling. So change into something and get us out of here.
The force field isn't just protecting the door. It goes through the bulkheads, the ceiling, the deck. There's nowhere for me to go.
Telling me I'm stuck here with you?
Quark, sit down in Odo's chair, looking dejected.
No, I'm stuck here with you. Believe me, a far worse fate.
Quark begins to type on Odo's computer.
And stay away from my computer.
We focus on the ore loading bay. O'Brien and Sisko are attempting to use an ore cart as a battering ram.
Again. Okay, hold on.
Anything?
Not even a dent.
There has to be something else we can do. What about this ore? As I understand it, iridium's very unstable.
That's true, but in its raw form, you'd need a strong electrical charge to detonate it.
Can we use
Sisko
that?
points to a light fixture.
Can we use that?
Well, if I had some tools, I might be able to get in there and yank out some electrical cable.
Sisko looks over the cart and pulls out the handle. He hands it to O'Brien.
Tools.
O'Brien smiles and takes the handle. He begins to jimmy open the panel beside the light fixture. We focus on ops. Dax is still working in the pit.
How's it coming?
Almost done.
There's the sound of energy discharge from the pit.
Ah!
Jadzia!
Bashir and Kira run over. Bashir hops down into the pit. Jadzia has electrical burns all over her hands and is in obvious pain.
Get me a medkit. Easy, Jadzia, easy. I have to take a look.
I was reaching towards the ODN conduit and a small force field went off and it caught my hands.
Kira hands the medical kit to Bashir.
They're second-degree burns. I don't think there's any neural damage. This should relieve the pain. Warning! Security in the operations center has been compromised. Initiating counterinsurgency program level 2.
The screen lights up and once again with the image of the cop.
Attention Bajoran workers. Your failure to surrender is forcing me to take stronger measures. In 5 minutes, we will begin pumping neurocene gas into the habitat ring. Think of your families as you consider your course of action. All Cardassian personnel should evacuate the area immediately.
Habitat ring? There have to be hundreds of people trapped in their quarters out there.
I believe that's the point, Major.
Kira turns to see Garak standing outside the door to ops.
Computer, access Garak 1359.
The force field drops and Garak enters ops. Once through the door, the force field re-engages.
Ironic, isn't it? The only place in the galaxy that still recognizes my access code is a Bajoran space station.
If you can get past the force fields, you've got to get out to the habitat ring and start evacuating those people before...
I'd like nothing better than to help my loyal customers, but it's not that simple. My access code enables me to move about the station, but unfortunately, as you've just seen, the force fields reappear the moment I pass through a doorway.
Have you tried using your code to shut down the security program?
Several times. But for some reason, I can't begin to fathom. Gul Dukat chose not to trust me with his top-level security codes during the occupation.
Garak! Do you know a way we could stop this Nerys gas?
The only way to do that is to destroy the life support system.
What are you trying to do, Garak? Get us all killed?
No, wait a minute. He's right. The Nerys gas is released through the life support system. Destroy it, and we save everyone in the habitat ring.
For 12 hours, and then everyone on the station will suffocate when we run out of oxygen.
Well, that gives us 12 hours to regain control of this station.
Believe me, Major, it's the only way to save those people. I believe life support is controlled from over there.
Kira picks up her phaser, presses a few buttons, and points it at the console. There are 2 Bajorans working at the station.
Get down!
The 2 Bajorans duck out of the way. Kira fires her phaser. Sparks shoot out at the console. The console powers down.
Warning! Counterinsurgency program level 2 has been interrupted. Initiating counterinsurgency program level 3.
Another message from Dukat is activated.
My fellow Cardassians, I regret to inform you that the Bajoran workers have gained control of this station. In all likelihood, I am dead or otherwise incapacitated. But rest assured, this station will not be allowed to remain in Bajoran hands. However, it is my duty to inform you that if you do not regain control within 2 hours, the station will be destroyed.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
We focus on the security office. Quark is firing at the force field.
Come on. Come on.
Odo rips the phaser out of Quark's hands.
Give me that before you hurt yourself. I checked the entire security complex. There's no way out.
Should have listened to my father. He always warned me about this was going to happen.
What? That you'd spend your final hours in jail? I could have told you that.
No. He warned me never to leave home. He said there were plenty of business opportunities right outside my door. But no. I had to follow the 75th rule of acquisition. Home is where the heart is, but the stars are made of Latvian. A lifetime of scheming and plotting, wheeling and dealing, and what has it got me? One messy little bar. My Uncle Fred owns 30, and my cousin Gallia.
I know. He owns a moon.
I told you that?
Many times.
It's a small moon, but it's enough to live on.
Oh, come on, Quark. You've done all right for yourself.
Oh, what do you know?
Quark, I've met a lot of Ferengis in my time, and the truth is, although some of them be more wealthy, I've never met one more devious.
Really?
Would I lie?
I guess not. Thank you, Odo. That means a lot to me. Now, can I have the phaser back?
No.
We focus on ops. Garak is working at the station. Bashir checks on that.
Jadzia, how do your hands feel?
A little better.
Good. I wish I could have done more, but I won't be able to repair the damaged tissue until we can get you to the infirmary.
Good turns to Garak.
Any luck?
Plenty, Major. Unfortunately, all of it bad. My personal code can activate any terminal on the station. However, that's the extent of my access. All I can do is just look around. I can tell you exactly what's going on, but I can't do anything about it. As far as I can see, the only person who can disable the security program is Gul Dukat.
Maybe there's a way to fool the computer into thinking you are Gul Dukat. You could try rewriting your code to match his.
Even if I could, it wouldn't do any good. If I were to input his code, the computer would scan my DNA pattern to determine if I really were Dukat.
But what if we disabled the sensors in ops so that the computer couldn't scan you?
What a creative idea. It certainly is worth a try.
The question is, Garak, can we disconnect the sensors without getting anyone else hurt?
We're just going to have to take that chance.
We could switch the sensor input from the primary scanners to the backup scanners. The computer shouldn't see that as a threat, but it'll blind the system for a few seconds while we make the changeover.
If it works, a few seconds are all I'll need.
Major, I'm gonna need a hand.
Bashir's watching over Garak's shoulder, smiling like a jackass.
Tell me, Doctor, what is it exactly about the situation that's making you smile?
You, Garak. Just wondering how many other tailors can rewrite Cardassian security protocols.
I wouldn't even venture a guess. Which reminds me, those pants you wanted altered are ready to be picked up. Oh, this is a problem.
What's wrong?
I always suspected that Dukat was a little paranoid. He's left a rather large number of interrogative subroutines embedded in his access code.
Meaning what, Garak?
Meaning the computer is constantly challenging to prove I am who I say I am. Lieutenant, how much longer before you can disable those sensors?
At least another 10 minutes.
I'm not sure we have that much time. In fact, I'm sure we don't.
Warning. Unauthorized use of command code. Initiating counterinsurgency program level 4.
A device materializes in a replicator and starts firing energy beams. Everyone takes cover except for one dude who's walking around as if nothing happened. A beam hits him and he's vaporized. We focus on the ore loading bay. Sisko got another handle off a cart and is helping her find the panel on the wall.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
They managed to pull the panel off the wall.
You did it.
Okay. We have the power cable. Now we need to pack the iridium around the door.
We focus on ops. The crew is hiding under desks and behind pillars as the killer beams fill ops at an alarming pace.
My phaser's on the ops table. Can anyone get to it?
The answer, Major, is no.
Well, we can't stay here and do nothing.
I respectfully disagree, Major. Nothing is about all we can do.
Dukat beams in, standing directly in front of one of the weapons, which doesn't hit him.
Let me guess. Someone tried to duplicate my access code.
Dukat, what the hell are you doing here?
A short time ago, I had a very strange experience. There I was, patrolling the demilitarized zone, when I received a distress signal from me. Or at least a recording of me. It seems the Bajoran workers were riding on Terok Nor. I must admit, it piqued my curiosity. I see the auto-destruct program has begun. Well. You are in trouble. Where's Commander Sisko? I trust he wasn't vaporized while asking for one of those ractigenos he's so fond of.
No. Last we heard, he was trapped in the ore processing unit.
I wish him well.
Well, can you help us or not?
Oh, most certainly. All I have to do is enter my command code and shut the program down.
Then do it.
All in good time, Major Kira. All in good time. But first, there are a few things we should discuss.
The car walks over to the replicator with the weapon, still completely unbothered by the blast it's sending out into the room.
Red leaf tea, please. Oh, and maybe a scone with some jam.
The weapon disappears, replaced by a mug. Bashir raises his head above the console he's been hiding.
Doctor!
The weapon returns and Bashir fires. Fires at Bashir. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's firing at Bashir, for sure.
Ah! Garak!
What do you want, Dukat?
You'll find I don't react well to that tone of voice, Major. Garak groveling in a corner. That alone makes my trip worthwhile.
Garak stands up.
Garak!
Easy, Doctor. It would appear that the computer is only targeting non-Cardassians.
If you had been on the station when I designed this program, I would have made an exception in your case.
Well, you've always been short-sighted. It's held you back over the years. As I recall, your father had the same flaw.
My father's only flaw was trusting you.
Funny, at his trial, your father said that his biggest flaw was that his ambition outweighed his patriotism.
Maybe you two could settle this at another time?
You're right, Major. But believe me, Garak, that time is coming. Oh, you better keep your dog at bay. Major, why don't you join me in the commander's office where we can talk in private? Away from this dog.
The car begins to walk away from the dog to the office with his tea. The carrier, afraid the dog doesn't move.
Oh, I forgot. The replicator. Well, it's the least I can do.
The car taps a couple buttons on the replicator and the weapons disappear.
You can all rise now. You're safe for the moment.
The crew rises timidly from their hiding places and look around. The cop motions towards Sisko's office.
Major.
We focus on the commander's office. The cop settles into Sisko's chair. Kira stands at the desk, looking annoyed.
I know time is of the essence, Major, so I'll be brief.
The cop flicks Sisko's baseball with his fingers and sends it rolling off into the perch and onto the floor.
I think it's time to reestablish a permanent Cardassian presence aboard this station. Nothing too elaborate, mind you. A garrison would suffice. I can deploy troops from my ship immediately. And in return, I'll solve your current dilemma.
You know I'm never going to agree to that.
I'm not sure you have a choice, do you?
Dukat, you and I both know Bajor nor the Federation will ever honor an agreement negotiated under a death threat.
I don't expect them to be happy about it, but once my troops are in place, I think you'll find it very difficult to get them to leave.
Well, let me put this another way. I will destroy the station before I ever give it back to the Cardassians.
Yes, I'm sure you would. But would you allow 2,000 people aboard this station to die simply because you don't like us?
Kira stands there, stone-faced, and says nothing.
Well, There's no need to decide just yet. We still have a little time left, like 30 minutes, in fact. Why don't I return to my ship so that you'll have time to think about it?
We focus on ops. Garak is still working at the station. Dukat comes out of the office looking smug.
I'll be back in, say, 25 minutes? Dukat, 1 to transport. Energize.
Nothing happens.
Energize.
Another recording comes on the view screen, this time from a different Cardassian. Older and more surly.
You're muted. You're muted, Sterling.
Dukat, if you are seeing this recording, it means you tried to abandon your post while the station's self-destruct sequence was engaged. That will not be permitted.
This is outrageous!
You have lost control of Terek Nor, disgracing yourself and Cardassia. Your attempt to escape is no doubt a final act of cowardice. All safes have been eliminated. Your personal access codes have been rescinded. The destruct sequence can no longer be halted. All you can do now is contemplate the depth of your disgrace and try to die like a Cardassian.
Computer, abort the self-destruct sequence. This is a priority 1 override. Clearance level 9, authorization Dukat 516 green.
Look, we got a request denied. All authorization codes are void. Time to self-destruct, 25 minutes.
Even your own computer program turns against you. I always knew your short-sightedness would be your downfall.
I don't see you coming up with any ideas, Taylor.
Look, if the two of you are finished with the insults, we could use some help here. Now, what can you tell us about the self-destruct sequence?
It's very simple. When the countdown is completed, the computer will order the main fusion reactor to disengage the reaction stabilizers, causing it to overload, destroying the station.
What about the reactor? Is there any way to shut it down?
It may be possible to manually disengage the laser fusion initiator, but in order to do that, we have to already be in the reactor room.
Not necessarily. We can disengage the initiator from one of the control junctions on level 34.
But now the computer's wiped out of the access codes. Not even a Cardassian can get out of this room.
Well, then maybe we should concentrate on trying to eliminate the force field protecting the door.
We don't have time to eliminate every force field between here and level 34. What we need to do is find a way to deactivate all the force fields on the stations at the same time.
We focus on the forward loading bay. O'Brien is piling up the iridium around the base door.
Okay, that should do it. If we use too much more, we run the risk of bringing the whole room down around our ears.
O'Brien pulls a power cable out of the panel and just yanks it out.
All right, we better take cover.
The three of them hide behind the mining cart.
Would you like to do the honors, sir?
O'Brien hands the power cord to Sisko.
Keep your heads down.
Sisko touches the live cable to the trail of rock fragments. A makeshift fuse. Sparks fly down the fuse and ignite the iridium around the door. The blast knocks a hole in the door.
It worked!
We focus on ops.
I set up this program, and I assure you, Major, I will find a way to defeat it. There's no dilemma that cannot be solved by a disciplined Cardassian mind.
It's not going to work, you know.
What are you babbling on about now?
I'm talking about Major Kira.
What about her?
She's much too busy trying to save this station to be impressed with your incessant posturing.
Garak!
And even if she weren't, she has much better taste than to be attracted to you. You, a married man.
I should have had you executed years ago.
You tried, remember?
It's pronounced Garak. This isn't helping.
Wait a minute. What about the power supply grid? If we could overload the grid, we might be able to cause a power surge and short out all the force fields on the station.
It might even be enough to eliminate the dampening field that's been keeping us from using our communicators.
Tell me something, Major. The Cardassian neutralization emitters that were under here, I assume you deactivated them when you took control of the station?
That's right. We prefer our containment fields to be non-lethal.
But are the emitters still in place?
As far as I know.
Excellent. That means that they have not been affected by the counterinsurgency program. That means we still have control of them.
Then, if we can get the emitters back online, we can use them to overload the power grid.
Exactly.
Do you think it'll be enough to eliminate the force fields?
Unfortunately, we'll lose the turbo lifts and the transporters, but they aren't much use to us right now anyway.
Let's give it a try.
We focus on a corridor. O'Brien and Sisko meet up at a junction.
Anything?
I only got a couple of 100 meters. I was stopped by a force field. How about you?
We didn't even get that far.
There's got to be some way to ops.
The turbo lift shaft. We can climb it all the way up to ops. Let's see if we can get the doors open.
We focus on ops.
Dukat, we're running out of time.
I'm almost done. I've got the emitters wired to the control panel. Now, all I have to do is reattach them to the power grid. Like so. All right, I'm ready.
Brace yourselves.
Officers about. There are sounds of an overload. Machines are being powered down. And then the silence.
Way to hit the post there.
We focus on a corridor. Sisko and O'Brien are still trying to get the turbolift door open. Suddenly, they open on their own.
Here to Sisko.
Go ahead, Major.
Commander, am I glad to hear you. What's your location?
Level 29, Section D. What's your status in ops?
We've got about 10 minutes before the main reactor core overloads and destroys the station. The only way to stop it is to disengage the laser fusion initiator at one of the control junctions on level 34 before the turbolifts and transporters go offline.
They'll never get there in time.
But we might. Major, Mr. O'Brien and I will handle the reactor. You begin evacuating the station. Get as many people as you can to the Defiant and the runabouts.
Understood. Good luck.
Jake, I want you to head to the runabout, Pad C.
It's too far. I'll never make it.
Listen to me, Jake.
I'm going with you.
All right, let's go.
We focus on the security office.
Crocky, warning. Main fusion's reactors will overload in 7 minutes.
Tell me something I don't know already.
Kira to Odo.
Go ahead, Major.
We're beginning evacuation procedures. The force fields have been deactivated and all the doors and the stations should be operable.
All except one. It seems the force field around my office is still in operation.
I'll send a work team down immediately.
Crocky, main fusion reactors will overload in 6 minutes.
You're telling me we're the only ones still locked in?
The force field must be on a separate system from the others.
Why go to so much trouble to keep people out of the security office?
It's not to keep people out. It's to keep me in. I suppose during the occupation, the Cardassians considered their security chief a security risk.
Now I know why.
Oh, do you?
It's because they knew you were an honorable man, the kind of person who would do the right thing regardless of the circumstances. And now your integrity is going to get us both killed. I hope you're happy.
We focus on a corridor. Sisko, Brian, and Jake are in trouble.
Crocky, main fusion reactors will overload in 5 minutes.
Chief, did you ever finish those upgrades on the deflector shields?
Yeah, why?
We might not have time to disengage the fusion inhibitor. What if we directed the explosion into the shields?
That's not a bad idea. The shields are the only thing on the station that can absorb that much energy.
Mott.
They turn a corner and find their way blocked by debris.
That power surge we felt must have blown out one of the plasma conduits. The corridor's completely blocked for the next 50 meters.
Can't we get around it?
We don't have time.
There might be a way. There's a maintenance conduit adjacent to this corridor. If it's not blocked, we might be able to get around the debris and get to the reactor control junction. Give me a hand.
They begin to clear the debris away from the conduit access panel. Clear the dog.
I can feel the heat through the door.
He opens it. He looks in and his face falls.
What's wrong?
See for yourself.
Sisko looks in. There's a green plasma fire in the conduit walls, and the conduit is filling with smoke.
Crocky, main fusion reactors will overload in 3 minutes.
Sisko looks to Jake.
I want you to wait here.
Warning, main fusion reactors will overload in 3 minutes.
Crocky!
I want you to wait here.
But
I mean it this time.
O'Brien and Sisko tear their sleeves to make mittens for their hands.
I'll go first. Follow 5 meters behind me. If one of us runs into trouble here,
I know. The other one keeps on going.
We focus on the conduit. The men enter, trying to avoid the plasma fires, smoke, and electrical bursts. One of the bursts hits O'Brien.
O'Brien.
He's out cold. Sisko contemplates going back to help him, but makes this decision to go on. Sometimes the needs of many outweigh the needs of few. O'Brien wakes briefly, sits up, and tries to continue on, but passes out again. We focus on the reactor control junction. Sisko kicks his way through the access panel.
Crocky, listen, mate. Main fusion reactors will overload in 90 seconds.
Sisko starts moving isolinear rods around.
Sisko to O'Brien. Chief, can you hear me? Chief, answer me.
Jake hesitates and then makes his decision to go into the conduit. Sisko is reversing rods and pressing buttons.
Crocky, mate, warning. Fair dingham main fusion reactors will overload in 60 seconds.
Jake drags the groaning O'Brien back towards the corner and safety.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Warning, listen, mate. Crocky, main fusion reactors are going to overload in 30 seconds.
Sisko continues working on the reactor. Jake pulls O'Brien out of the conduit.
Jake, I thought your father told you not. Jake, I thought your father told you to stay out of there.
Well, if you don't tell him, I won't.
In reactor control, Sisko is still pressing buttons.
Okay, warning, Crocky, mate. Main fusion reactors are overloaded. There's nothing more I can do here.
The station begins to shake. Energy starts from the station and is absorbed by the shields.
O'Brien to Sisko.
Chief, you all right?
Yeah, looks like we all are.
We focus on the security office. The door's open.
About time. All right, Quark, you can leave now.
Quark is at Odo's computer terminal reading.
Self-important con artist who's nowhere near as clever as he thinks he is. That's your official security evaluation of me?
Quark, I told you to stay away from the computer.
Odo and Quark leave the office together and walk down the promenade together.
2 hours ago, you told me I was the most devious Ferengi you ever met.
I thought we were going to die. I was trying to be nice.
Name one Ferengi who's more devious than I am.
The Grand Nagus.
All right, name another.
Damon Ty.
Oh, one you personally know.
Your brother Rom.
My brother?
Your uncle Fryn.
Really?
Your cousin Gala.
Gala? The one with the moon?
Yes, that concludes reading of Star Trek Radio Theater. Civil Defense. I'm Dave Mader. I was Gul Dukat. Jane Mader here was Major Kira. We got a whole cast to introduce. First, let's bring in the Millards. We had Kevin Millard playing Chief O'Brien. Oh,
Best accent.
What is your father at? And Ashley Millard as Lieutenant Jadzia Dax, who got her hands burned in this one, but did a lot of problem solving as well. Great job to both of you. Of course, we had our narrator, Tom Mott Tyrell, going along here, telling us what was happening. Mostly.
Sometimes.
We also had, of course, our first time ever, Jim Edelston joining us here on Star Trek Radio Theater, playing Commander Sisko. That was great, Jim. I really loved having you on here. Okay, that was your fight with Jake, where he was like, Jake, I want you to go to the pad. And he was like, no, I want to go with you. You're like, okay. And then you're just like, that's just...
it's how it was in the episode.
It is kind of how it was in the episode, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jake Sisko, we had Stirling Slocock-Bennett coming to us from Australia, where it's already Saturday. He was Jake Sisko, as well as Legate Kell, who was after my Dukat telling me to be die like a Cardassian and all that stuff. So great job, Stirling. Jeff Mader coming in, not from Australia, but was our Australian computer, and as well as our British.
Wait, that was your attempt at us.
Yeah, you didn't realize with all those crikeys.
Well, the crikey, yeah, but everything else, no.
It was, you know what? It's a lot of watching the block. You know, a lot of Scotty Cam.
I will say though, Jeff, you hit the Cardassian and Garak perfectly.
You're like
every
Garak.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? I swing for the fences. You know, sometimes they're home runs, sometimes they're singles.
sometimes they're strikeouts. But you know, of course, coming to us from the dark, Grady room, it's Chris Seymour who played
coming to us from his kill room.
Well, you know what? I have no idea what this guy's supposed to sound like.
Jennifer ate with some here.
He usually doesn't have a dog, I would say,
Okay.
but you know, maybe your version of Quark has a dog.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah, okay. And then of course your foil, of course, Odo, played by Adam Woodward here.
Hello.
Coming on in and having the rivalry. Of course, I think it really helped having you and Chris and Adam playing Odo and Quark, already knowing each other coming into this. I think the dynamic really worked well in the episode. Of course, so I always kind of sometimes want to put a pronunciation guide out there for some of the newbies, because I think we had Cardassian. How was Cardassian being said?
Cardassian?
Cardassian. We had, instead
Gul
of Dukat,
Dukat?
it was like Dukat
Dukat?
or something
That's a
like
good
that.
one. I like Dukat.
And then my favorite part was when Jim just like, how do you say this word? And we're like,
Iridium?
Iridium. Yeah. So
Well, that's when I caught the other stuff. I knew it wasn't said right, so I was like, I'll just ask.
Where's Davan?
Davan. Oh, actually, good question. Because Davan was our Garak, but he must have ducked out here.
He was smooth.
He was smooth.
Yeah,
he was good.
Garrett was really good.
Got to peace out. No more Garak lines, and he has a crying baby. That's what he sent me a message. So, so that's where we. But yeah, me and Garak, we got all our Dukat versus Garak rivalry out. I apologize. I was pulling the sounds together at the last minute, and I decided to pre-record my attention Bajoran worker lines. But that first line I had, where I redid part of it, and I said it twice.
Bajoran workers, your attention, please. Your attempt to seize control of this facility is going to fail. Your attempt to seize control of this facility is going to fail.
That was not intentional, but Dukat just wanted to really emphasize it.
Hammer it home.
So at first I thought you had like a voice filter you were pressing or something, but then I realized the second time you pre-recorded them. So
just those ones, and then when it was like live Dukat, I was doing that live, but just because I wanted to have like the sound effect and to have it more sound like it was coming out of a TV, so or whatever. So yeah, really fun. How did you guys enjoy it? Especially
I had a good time.
Yeah. Chris Seymour, how do you feel about this story?
You know what? I'll tell you something. I had fun reading it. Because I liked looking for my name and reading stuff, but I have no idea. I still have no idea what this episode's about. Really don't. No.
The station was like trying to kill them, and they, you were stuck with Odo in a room, basically.
Yeah. I knew I was stuck with somebody.
Thanks,
Well,
Chris.
you only talked to Adam. He was the only one you played off of.
True.
The story ends with you guys walking down.
I got the last word. That's good.
You did get the last word, and you said cousin Gala right the second time. I think the first time you said Gala, you were like Gaia.
Because by the second time, I heard someone else say it.
Yeah. So sometimes,
so I caught on.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So, so Seymour, I can tell you've been replaced by guys. Listen.
What? Maybe. I don't know.
You were like, I gotta tell you.
Well, I did tell you.
I know you did. Listen, guys. Ready.
Action, Jake. Oh, yeah. When because Sisko always calls Jaco, and you were like Jake.
Oh. Look, I realized I screwed it up after I saw it, and I was like, I'll just roll with it. But
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't fix it. It's way better if you don't.
Jake. Oh. Yeah. I was like, oh, great. The double down added oomph according to X-rated. The double down. Yeah, all good. What? Maybe cast people who are Star Trek fans for Star Trek Radio Theater? Never. No.
Are these people that were watching while we were doing it?
Yeah, they were watching live with us. So
Gotcha.
If you're watching live here, you can leave a comment. But of course, if you're watching this in the future, we hope you can leave a comment as well and like and share it. And we hope you enjoyed this. I really had a lot of fun. And that little video we played at the top was created with Chris Seymour's AI music machine, where he's like, I'm going to be in this episode, and I just told it to write me a song about this episode. And that's what we got there.
That's
and
good.
I made a little video to go with it.
And you still don't know what it's about, Chris?
What? I don't know what it's about.
The entire episode.
I watched it and critiqued it for him. He didn't need to see it.
Well, I didn't really like.
Guys,
told
listen,
the computer to write it. I didn't pay attention. Kind of listen to the team, not really the words.
Davin hates AI, He just wants you to know. Because he's racist against androids, I guess.
Data is his least favorite.
He never saw Measure of a Man, so he's he's definitely got to learn that one still.
Just forewarned, man. Skynet's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Or is Brent Spiner Data coming? Or both?
I don't know.
It could be a benevolent AI. All right. Anyway, any final thoughts here? This was a lot of fun. Always a bit of a mad scramble to get ready for these in time, but I managed to get all the sounds in there. Although there was one part in the middle where I somehow didn't put any of the sounds in there, so I apologize for that. The synth, Davin's all about the synth band. Yeah. Like we saw in Star Trek Picard. He
Can't stop progress.
Can't stop the progress. Well, he's tried. Okay. Well, with that, Sterling, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was great. Thank you for having me. And yeah, glad there was no lag with the time difference and all that. But Jeff, maybe we should come over here with Amanda and learn the Australian accent properly, mate.
I think I was pretty close.
The crikey and the mate was good. But if you were trying the rest of your words, well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like let's be honest. That like the Australian accent is the most poetic sounding thing in the world.
Oh yeah, the Bogans, man. It's just such a hot voice.
We won't make Jeff our ambassador to Australia. But,
yes. I watched an Australian renovation TV show. It's called The Block. Do you know of it?
Yeah, The Block's sick, man. Everyone's obsessed with
The Block. And the host,
that's the one you got.
All right, I agree with you. The majority of the people don't sound like that in Australia, but the host of The Block, Scotty Cam, does sound like that.
Oh no, that's a huge majority of people sounding like that. Trust me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, and it does depend where they're from. Like I noticed on the show, if they're from like the Gold Coast, they are like their accent is thick.
Oh yeah, but Gold Coast is just like wannabe influencers now.
Yeah. Sterling, you ever going to return to Canada, or are you going to be down there?
My buddy has a wedding next May, so I'm hoping to be there for next May and June. We'll see how my money savings, but just saved up the last bit of my visa. So once that's out of the way, I can save for trips.
Yeah, Chris, are you okay there? Do you need to go?
Yeah, you know what? She's looking out the window. She sees like a plastic bag blowing by or something like that. I don't know.
Isn't it
all right, well,
dog's bedtime?
Yeah, I don't think so.
With all that said, we can probably sign off from the live here, and whoever wants to hang out after can. So, well, thanks everyone. Thanks to the whole cast. A lot of fun. Thanks to Ashley for helping to pull down the script, and Kevin too. Lots of fun. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for helping us solve this civil defense mess. We'll see you next time. Yeah.
Bashoran workers, your attention, please.
A station in trouble in a time of distress. It's season 3 of Deep Space Nine. You know this is the best. crew trapped in a lockdown, no time to confess. Can they survive the civil defense mess? Trapped with the Cardassians, a test of their might. The clock's ticking fast, gonna fight for their right. Lasers and force fields, they're in for a fight. In the heart of the station, they'll defend through the night. O'Brien takes charge, leading the way. With Sisko and Kira, they won't give it away. Quark's got a plan to come out okay, but Gul Dukat's lurking. Will he save the day?